maybe now we'll just do a whiteboard and draw an arrow. I don't know whose job that is on the scorers table over there, but you know, one of the little things you got to work through with the collegiate teams taking on an NBA arena today.
That's right. Take it back to the old school. Put a towel over there.
Yeah. And, of course, Kate Bay in her first season as the head coach of Stanford, 17 years as an assistant, and we are underway. The Buckeyes in their scarlet jerseys winning the tip, and Madison Green getting the start in place of the freshman Jelani Cambridge.
Well, you see Stanford starts out in man-to-man defense right here, really trying to put pressure on Ohio State.
Here's McMahon, the leading scorer for the Buckeyes. With the miss, follows it.
And she has a nonstop motor when it comes to staying aggressive. Come to learn this year that she can strike from the three-point line. And she said she didn't put any number, like I'm not going to go in and say, okay, I have to make 500 shots. She just goes in until she has a good rhythm.
Both teams yet to get a bucket here, 2.5 minutes into this one. We talked about the adrenaline and nerves in an NBA arena and in this matchup. But the first bucket of the night coming from Tess Heel, the 5'10 junior transfer from Santa Clara. A lot of Christmas spirit here, holiday spirit as well.
Talk about the pressure that needs to be applied because you guys just fly around without really any rules there. And she said, you know, when they asked me, should I go or not go? Always go. She said, it's an always go situation in the press. Stay aggressive with it. And she said she didn't know that that pressure would do what it does to other teams in the half court, in the quarter court.
Right? It sounds a lot like if you hesitate, just go.
Yeah. I like to say you just have to react, right? And right now they're not shooting it very well. Just 1 of 7 from the floor. We'll see if they can pay off some of those stops.
A straight line drive is good for Taylor Thierry. Right. Courtney Ogden right to the cup, leaves it short, and McMahon clears it.
Let's see what Ohio State comes up with down here. Getting reorganized. You see Kevin McGuff imploring his team to get strategized and get to where they need to be.
Ooh, what a take by McMahon. Euro step and then flips it off window.
And that's when she's at her best.
And right back at the quick score from Janiyah Harry.
And get some fluidity to their offensive production.
Baseline jumper, immediate offense off the bench from Ava Watson, the true freshman for Kevin McGuff and the Buckeyes.
I love Ava Watson's impact for the team. She can come in, she's always ready to score in that way, and they need that.
Cross court, little hesitation. Oh, Dimitri had an opening, she gets it back, still open. Can't can it though. You think it's going in every time it leaves Dimitri's hand. She has been red hot this season, shooting 45% from deep.
Yeah, she is legit, and 54% from 2. So she has been consistently providing that level of offensive prowess from range and from inside the line as well.
Watson already hit one baseline jumper. This time lays it off on a good dish to Thierry.
And we saw Stanford earlier today working on breaking this pressure from Ohio State. Well off the mark. You've got to set a solid screen. And you've got to set and use those screens. And Ohio State has done that well out of the gates. And if you can get 10 points, at least from your out-of-bounds plays, your sidelines plays, that can make a huge difference as the game continues to evolve.
Absolutely. Ooh, what a take. The physical.
That Stanford has been able to get on the offensive glass so far in this one.
The Buckeyes with their biggest lead of the game here at 9. Stanford has been quiet.
You have to honor that as a defender.
And she can fill it up. Out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the junior. From Winton Woods High School, coming back home to play for the Buckeyes.
To snatch that one down. You got to do that work early and maintain your box out position, and she did that exceptionally well down there.
Weave action. Thierry has it, kicks it back out. 5 on the shot clock. Got to let it fly. Green does and cans it.
That was a recalibration because she just missed the 3, but that one just had a little more force on the follow-through.
Stanford breaks the press, gets inside, but gets it denied. And at the buzzer, Ohio State will fling it up.
What was that decision that you made based upon? I mean, you have had such a historic career in the game, but what was that final decision for you?
Just I wanted to do other things, and I think Kate will do a fabulous job coaching the Stanford team. They're off to a little rough start today, but they're a young group, and they're working really hard. I really miss it. It's hard being in the gym. You know, I want to coach them. This kind of support here where the Valkyries are going to play, too, so that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. The WNBA expanding here to the Bay Area. It is about time, Coach.
I agree.
Finally, the WNBA coming to the Bay Area. But the two teams on the court today, and where you started your career, you started at Idaho. Don't want to forget that, but certainly spending time at Ohio State. And, you know, this is a resume for most coaches their whole life. And yet that was just a short stint at Ohio State. What's it mean to you when you see the Ohio State highlights from your career?
I loved being at Ohio State. I loved coaching there. It was a great experience. We had great teams, great players. I saw one of them, she was doing radio in the first recruiting class I had, Kristen Watt. You know, Ohio State was a fabulous. I was an assistant for 2 years and a head coach for 5 years.
Yeah. The USA basketball piece, I have to go to that 1996 team that spearheaded the WNBA and so many wonderful things in our game. And Elise Woodward said that she played against your team on one of the colors.
I did. You know, so that we're really excited to be part of growing the game. Great young players. And you know, it's really exciting to see the enthusiasm and support for women's basketball, college, pro, and just grow the game.
Where do you see this momentum that women's basketball now has? Where do you see the momentum going, moving forward? Like, this isn't a finished product.
Oh, no.
We're just the next step.
Well, I think it's just really improving our skills, making the game more mainstream. You know, and all women's sports, not just women's basketball, but the excitement of volleyball Final Four, the Olympics with all the women's sports. Obviously, I love that one. I love that one. Good job, Janaya. I don't want to get myself in trouble at the table, but we need to get a tighter game here. It's a really exciting. I mean, obviously, what the WNBA is doing, not just the Valkyries, but you know, all the teams, the enthusiasm, the fan support going up. It's great. Stanford's going to have to handle that press a little bit better.
Yeah,
Here we go.
What do you think of that press? Because there are really no rules to it. You just have to make reads against it.
Whoa. Fun to have Invisalign have this tournament, get these great teams out here. It's on Fox, and people can watch the game.
It's the first time there's been a doubleheader for women's basketball.
It's fabulous. Fabulous.
Center, so really exciting to be first and not the last for sure. But
you really can feel it. It's palpable, the growth of women's basketball.
You know, we've had a lot of great players. You know, just that these young players have someone to look up to. I have to tell you a funny thing, though. I was in line coming in, and there was a woman that came up to me and said she came to my Ohio State basketball camp.
Oh, wow.
That made me feel a little old. But it was pretty fun.
Remembered you made an impression.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Well, it's funny because Kate Pay was one of those that was at the Stanford basketball camp, and look where she is now, Coach.
I knew Kate as an 11-year-old. So Kate's got a great staff with Katie Stedding was an Olympian, Jeanette Poland, All-American, Erica McCall, Tempe Brown. They're just a fabulous staff, working really hard. And obviously I know Katie Smith on Kevin's staff. So, you know, we've got some great coaches out here working really hard, and the young players. Whoa. Oh dear, that's a young player. She won't make that mistake too many times.
What's the best advice you've given Kate Pay so far? Under 42% for Stanford coming in from range, and Ohio State, give them credit defensively for taking that aspect of their offensive production away.
Ooh, good crossover there. Boscana, but couldn't knock down the layup, and instead it is rebound and put in by Aguera.
Well, if Ohio State's going to take away the three, then Stanford's going to have to find another way to score, and if that's in the paint, then so be it. So then just go there for right now until you can loosen things up from the outside.
3.5 minutes until halftime. McMahon just goes hard. Boscana and Dimitri, each with a couple of personals for Ohio State. Elsa Limila from Espoo, Finland.
Yeah, she has such a great story, and Kevin McGuff told us at practice today, he said, you know, her mom lives an hour, or grew up an hour away from Ohio State and Lancaster, Ohio, and attended Ohio State.
There she is right here on the move, rim runs, but can't get it to go.
She also has aunts and uncles that live close by and keep eyes and ears on the youngster.
Her mom, the American, her dad from Finland, and a good take in the lane, put off the window by Clardy.
They need more of that. Again, attack the cup. If they're going to run you off the three-point line, then make them pay and finish. And that's what Stanford has been able to do the last couple of possessions.
Gray, mid-range, true.
See, watch how Ohio State just gets over top on those high ball screens. Cotie McMahon doing a good job of staying connected.
Ariel hit one before at the shot clock.
By Ohio State in the full court and in the quarter court as well.
The Buckeyes have forced 10 Stanford turnovers. This guided the Buckeyes to 4 Sweet 16s and an Elite 8
in this game so far. And we're talking about Stanford, as we said, being the second best three-point percentage shooting team in the country. So he has gotten the discipline and execution from his team in that regard.
Well, you knew with the press, sometimes you're going to leave three-point shooters open if they break it. And right here, this is one of them. Heel knocks it in. The Ohio State, 2.8 seconds before halftime. Thierry kicks it out. Green, too strong.
You saw Petty doing a fantastic job of getting a piece of the paint, even with 2 players converging in her space. But I want to see what Stanford does offensively. Look, they like to get into their horn set here, a little back screen, trying to create some avenues to attack in the paint.
Well, that pressure for Ohio State certainly bothered the Cardinal. Wonder if Stanford can settle down now that they've seen it for a full 20 minutes.
Those threes aren't falling. It doesn't mean that we can't shoot them, but tonight, Ohio State is making them so difficult and they're disrupting the space from out there. Let's try something new. And that was the first thing they went to.
Right to the rim again and put off the window by Heel.
And the second thing they went to. Right? Very intentional with their attack of the cup. And that's not going to be the last time until Ohio State makes a change with that, which is probably going to give them more opportunities to try to strike from 3.
That time it was the Stanford defense with the deflection. Shania Harrell getting her hands on it and now pressuring up on Madison Green. No Jelani Cambridge, the number 2 recruit in the nation, a true freshman now, couldn't go due to injury.
Keep her principle of verticality intact, clean block up top.
Heel gets into the lane, draws the double, kicks it on a pretty feed to Dimitri.
Dimes being dropped in the painted area right now by Stanford. Nice momentum offensively out of the halftime locker room for the Cardinal.
Oh, McMahon, what a take. My goodness, just would not be denied.
Human wrecking ball right there. Cotie McMahon getting downhill. If you're not ready for some force, you got to get out of the way.
Oh, just off the rim, but cleaned up on the O board by Bozgana. Green drives, kicks. McMahon thought about it, kicks it to Gray for the 3 ball short. Battle for the rebound, won by Dimitri.
And Dimitri did a great job of maintaining her box out position there on Petty.
O'Gara, the lefty, goes through the wickets.
Basket line for an easy opportunity to complete the play.
Heel into the lane and just took a breath and said, okay, yes, they're going to pressure, but the anecdote.
And that's what Tara Vanderveer said too. Like, we just need to calm down. Stanford just needs to calm down a little bit. And they've done it by getting stops. I thought Madison Green got away with 2 travels right there on the same play.
Oh, McMahon, count it! It's a college bowl season right now. I think a few people would want to hand the ball off to her. She is getting through traffic and getting to the rim.
Third chance opportunities.
Oh, boy, up and under move was beautiful, but couldn't get it to go by Bozgana. And a jump ball. Be too scared to hit that offensive line, run off tackle. Here she is right here. She'll try the 3 ball, and that one short but cleaned up on the O board.
And then keep her behind you or she's going to slide right by and slither for a easy putback.
3-on-1. Onto the floor. The defense there by Petty. And Stevenson couldn't connect. Kate Pace spent 17 years as an assistant. Tara Vanderveer played at Stanford. But boy, what a career. Kate had a lot of other opportunities she could have taken, but stayed patient to take this job.
Well, I like what you said about Tara Vanderveer's influence on Kate Pay. And Kate Pay said, no, I wasn't waiting around for Tara to leave, right? It was just timing ended up being what it was.
Boy, Stanford breaking the press brilliantly, but couldn't get the bucket.
And they just speed you up so much. And then you just have to calm down. Like Kate Pay was trying to implore her team to settle down.
And the turnovers, 14-3 in favor of Ohio State. Stanford's not going to win.
Lead. Ohio State is also 1 for 10 from 3. So they're not knocking them in from range. But what they have been able to do is attack and get into the paint and speed Stanford up with their 2-2-1 press.
That time, patience pays off. Bozgana gets into the lane, and the lefty flips it in.
Yeah, just drop those shoulders out of your ears and play the game you love.
Great flash and a fine grade of Petty. Pretty.
What a nice bounce there. On that drive to the rack by Ajae Petty. They're just so effortless with it.
So a couple of Buckeyes in double figures now. The baseline jumper good by Dimitri.
Stanford has gone to some zone here in the second half, several possessions of it, and that has made a difference as well for them to try to carve back into this game.
Madison Green, the starter, her 6th year at Ohio State. Just great to see her out there contributing, but has played well today. All the way into the lane, and another bunny missed. This time from Clardy, and at the other end, Gray cashes it in.
Both teams cold from range.
Bozgana will give it a try. That one won't go. Aguera, the lefty, gets it in with her offhand.
Aguera had that body bump to clear some space, and she's just so rugged and strong and quick inside, and that was smart to take that bump and then go up strong with it.
Yeah, we talked about Paige Beckers, but Aguera actually played with Paige Beckers back in high school. She's from Minnetonka, Minnesota, as the Buckeyes with the answer. Heel trying to turn the corner on Madison Green.
We'll see at Stanford here and see if Aguera can be the one that they lean on to try to score inside. They're trying that 2-player action, and there she goes.
Aguera, oh, strong take.
This juncture of the game, you got to go for the singles. You don't need home run triples. Go downstairs and get some easy buckets in the lane.
The zone continues to bother. The first shot no good, the O board, and then it's the push-off.
I don't know. Seemed like her body was a little skewed to the side.
Nobody in foul trouble for Ohio State. Nobody with more than 2 personal fouls. So Tess Heel, the 5'10 junior out of Melbourne, Australia. Her first year with the Cardinal, coming over from Santa Clara. That's right.
Yeah, but she's done a tremendous job, right? I mean, especially from 3.
Watson cans the 3 ball.
And that was textbook zone offense. Hit both sides of the court, and then the extra pass.
Good closeout, and the miss forced. Bozgana grabs the rebound, and the southpaw puts it in.
She caught that at the perfect time, just couldn't pay it off.
Watson feeling it. That one rims out. But another good offensive rebound in traffic this time.
That won't keep her out too long because, boy, she's been having a fabulous freshman campaign so far.
There's Jelani, the younger sister of Kennedy, who's at the free throw line. Jelani, the true freshman, missing her 2nd game in a row with a shoulder injury. Kevin McGuff says she was close, just couldn't quite get healthy for this game, as the 3rd
for Ohio State. And all 5 players for the Buckeyes had their hands on the basketball. And that's what you need, right? Get the ball to the second side, attack the middle of it, and finish.
There's an attack move from Aguera. She's had some nice moments from the Cardinal, and she's in double figures now with 11.
Well, they need more from her, right? And even with what she's been able to do in this game, I think just go through her on every single play and put pressure on Ohio State's interior.
Ooh, how about the fourth made three of the game by the Buckeyes? This one from Madison Green. So Ohio State, 4 made threes. Stanford, the number 2 3-point shooting team with just 1 into the lane, slicing in nicely, lost control.
Rutgers, wow, what a solid start. A nice young backcourt they have on the men's and women's side.
Boy. McMahon, the big 1-2.
Into the net for Cotie.
Bozgana off the inbounds, too strong. And another bucket by Ohio State. Jelani Cambridge and the bench loving it. Just over 8 minutes to go. Ohio State, the 11th ranked team in America, undefeated and feeling good. Aguera's jumper off the mark. Quick pass, Petty. And Thierry having to go to the deck. Just about even on the offensive glass. 13 for Stanford, 12 for Ohio State.
She's locking and trailing off that stagger on the weak side, and they just have not been able to get clean touches or looks.
Clardy, shot clock winding down, and she drills the long jump.
They need the whole unified force on the offensive end to come alive here to make a strong push in this fourth quarter.
McMahon, spin move, cans it.
There's a little pick and roll, a 2-man player action there.
That looks like Stanford.
And got what they wanted and didn't take the shot that Ohio State wanted them to take.
This time they go inside to Petty. Oh, what a connection! Oh, Taylor Thierry on the up and under.
And she gives them exactly what they need day in, day out. Possession by possession, she's always making winning plays.
Oh, almost a 3-point. I love the English. That one had to go high off the glass. Experienced Ohio State squad. Ranked 11th in the nation. And one of a handful of Big Ten teams that are still undefeated. We were just talking about Michigan State and how they are filling it up. They're averaging almost 100 points a game.
No, absolutely. I mean, there are 8 teams that are in the top 25 from the Big Ten, and Michigan State has certainly been playing some high-level hoops. The personalities continuing to formulate as both of these teams are gearing up for conference play soon, and you said iron sharpens iron, and the challenges are many by both teams. Rain still trying to figure some things out.
Ohio State with the first miss of the quarter on the last jumper that fell off the rim from McMahon. Free ball no good from Clardy. And then Agara. You're going to watch this film and think what could have been if they knocked down some of these shots in the paint.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that shot in the paint goes down from Petty.
Well, Petty is just so strong inside, and the way that she's so nimble with how she can just shift her body has really been fun to watch.
You're going to win a lot of games with 5 different players with that kind of production.
Both sides of the court for the Buckeyes.
Nina Aguera, 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, she's had 2 ACL injuries. And for her to come back out and do what she's been able to do in this game, to be the conductor on the offensive end, running that point guard spot, has really been commendable for sure.
Keogh loses control of it. Green picks it out of the air, pushes it ahead. Thierry flies in. Boy, did she.
Got to be sure. Are you increasing a passing angle? Or are you driving to the cup? Or are you just putting the ball down? Like, you have to be purposeful. Absolutely. I mean, cat-like quickness. Just tip that basketball away. It's the deflections for me, right? If you can't get 2 hands on the basketball, get one and tip it to yourself. And that's what she did on that play.
And that jumper will roll in for Petty.
Right, that's what Big Ten basketball is all about. That's what ACC basketball is all about now. Stanford's first season in the ACC.
Stanford will be off all the way until January 2nd. That is a long break. No break for the holidays. and come back in their first game at SMU. Ava Watson and 9 Final Fours in her time on the bench with Tara Vanderveer, and not much has changed. She mentioned it. That's a nice take.
A member of the Minnesota Lynx for Brian Agler.
It's just so nice to talk about the history of now close to 3 decades of professional women's basketball here in the United States. And another 3-ball goes down. Madison Green adding on, the 5'8", 6-year senior with the long bucket. So Madison Green, a local kid from the state of Ohio, 6 full years as a Buckeye. You just love it because she was a baller, second team all Big Ten as a sophomore and has had to deal with some injuries, but what a game she put together, and so did 11th ranked Ohio State, 84-59.